Hey there, everybody. Time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Spokane Steve here with you. We got another game from the 1966 replay. Good afternoon, Kenyon. How are you doing? We've got the Washington Senators at the Kansas City Athletics today. First of all, first things first, I am just frickin' still beating myself up over that shoddy performance yesterday. Oh my God, I should have known it was a walk-off situation in the ninth and just really screwed that one up. So hopefully we get back on the horse today and do a little bit better job for you. My only defense is that I did not sleep at all Saturday night, so I'd been up all night. I'm sure that did not help. I'm happy to report I got an excellent night's sleep last night. So feeling more myself today. Today's ball game, of course, Sunday, May the 8th, 1966. And we've got Phil Ortega for Washington, Fred Talbot for Kansas City. You can see here Talbot's card says New York. And here's the cards. Just look at them. Hello, Franklin. Well, you didn't... Well, Kenyon says it was a great game, no worries. Well, thank you very much, Kenyon. That's very kind of you. I was just going to tell Franklin he didn't miss much. I kind of made a disaster out of that one yesterday. It was a good game, though. I mean, that part of it. My handling of it wasn't so great, but it was a really good game. A game that Atlanta appeared to have in the bag, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, Houston rallies for 5 runs off of 3 different pitchers to pull it out in the bottom of the ninth. So we've got a pretty good card for Ortega, 3.92 ERA. Nice hits to innings ratio there. Talbot, 4.36, just slightly less than a hit per inning. Let's see what they've done in the replay so far. For Ortega, he's made 3 starts. He's 1-1 with a 4.37 ERA on the season. He has 1 complete game. It was a shutout. He's worked 23 innings, 24 hits allowed, 13 strikeouts. For Talbot, well, Talbot's been great so far for Kansas City. He's made 4 starts. He's 2-1 with a brilliant 1.98 ERA across 27 innings, in which he's only surrendered 17 hits. So Talbot certainly overachieved so far. And we'll see if he can keep it up. Yeah, it is a pretty even matchup. Some of the problems in this game come into play with the lineup, and we're going to get to that right now. I'll give you the Washington lineup, okay? Fred Valentine leads off in right field. Ken Hamlin's back at second base in the 2 spot. Dick Nan will play first and bat third. Ken McMullen at third base in the cleanup spot. You'll notice conspicuously absent Big Frank Howard, who got a day off. Excuse me, I'm going to... Excuse me. Willie Kirkland in left field hits 5th. Don Locke will be in center hitting 6th. And here's the weird one. John Orsino will do the catching against a right-hander. He'll be represented by a 1-pitcher's hitting card, which, believe it or not, is more than he deserves, okay? On his card in the computer-only game, he didn't play much. He actually had a few on-base chances against lefties. However, against righties, which Talbot is, he has absolutely nothing on his card versus right-handers. So the 210 walk is 3 more on-base chances than Orsino deserves. I don't like it, okay? I mean, I'm using the lineups. I committed to that. 3 at-bats or 7 innings, but definitely we're going to get Orsino out of the game as soon as what I call legal occurs. Ed Brinkman at short hits 8th, and Ortega, the pitcher, bats 9th. Yeah, Orsino, not a single on-base chance against righties. Against lefties, well, let's look at my computer game. Where is he? See, he actually had 17.2 chances against lefties, and they're all hits. He had 7.8% single, 9.4%. I hate it when they put it in percent, but 17.2% on base. So that's out of 108. Excuse me again. Can't be allergies. It's 47 and windy and cloudy here as we still search for spring as we approach the end of April here in Spokane. Kansas City defensively are going to have Billy Bryan behind the plate catching Talbot. Ken Harrelson's at first. Dick Green and Campy Campaneris up the middle. And there's Wayne Causey down at third. Hirschberger in left, Tartable in center, and Larry Stahl in right. Hi, Mike C., and welcome. No, I deleted the video for yesterday's game. I was just so pissed off at myself for my broadcasting in that one. The ones that I find just too terrible, I don't leave them up. I didn't feel that one accurately reflects anything close to my best work. Yeah, it was a walk-off. In short, it was a walk-off win. I kept rolling. For some reason, I had it in my mind that the home team was the visiting team. And yeah, there you go. You can figure out the rest from there. Anyway, let's move on. And there's Michael K. Welcome, Michael. Michael is in Spokane. Hang on, let me refresh this so I can read all of the chat. Michael was stationed at Fort Lewis. We go see the Yakima Bears when we'd be at the training center. Yeah, Yakima's a bit of a drive from here. I had a friend who lived in Granville for a while, which is pretty close to Yakima. Talbot's ready to work in this one. Fred Valentine will lead things off. Switch hitter, batting left-handed. Valentine comes into the game at .277. He has 5 home runs, which leads the ball club, and 10 runs batted in, which also leads the ball club. He's also stolen 4 bases without being caught, which also leads the ball club. So basically, he and Frank Howard have been the offense, and Howard is out of the lineup today. So here's Valentine. Talbot gets the sign, and here's the first pitch of the game. It's going to be a 3-11 right-handed. It's a tapper down to first. That's going to be Hawk Harrelson. He'll take it himself, and there's one away, and we're underway here on a weird and gloomy, windy Monday. Holy crap. Here's Ken Hamlin now, the second baseman. Hamlin's hitting .286. He's just been in 8 games, 8 for 28, 2 RBIs. Nice day in Philly, eh, Mike? And Talbot's pitch to Hamlin. 3-10 right-handed. He pops him up right side. That's going to be Dick Green under it. And there's 2 away. And here comes Dick Nen, the left-handed hitting first baseman. Nen just 2 for 26 on the season. That's .077. So Nen looking to get going a little bit here. As Talbot goes into the windup, the pitch to Nen is going to be a 3-10 right-handed. He goes the other way with it and lofts a lazy fly ball into left field. Mike Hirschberger patrolling, and he'll take it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Talbot. So after half an inning here in Kansas City, Senators nothing, Athletics coming to bat. And as Phil Ortega gets loose, let's give you that Kansas City lineup. Jose Tartable leading off in center. He got a little something on his card there. Bert Campaneris at shortstop hit second. Wayne Causey is back in the lineup at third base in the 3 spot. Billy Bryan will do the catching today and bat cleanup. Hawk Harrelson at first hitting 5th. Larry Stahl in right field in the 6th spot. Dick Green plays second base and bats 7th. Mike Hirschberger in left hitting 8th, and Talbot the pitcher hitting 9th. For the Senators defensively, John Orsino, of course, catching Ortega, at least for part of the game. Nen at first, Hamlin and Brinkman up the middle with Ken McMullen at third base. Outfield left to right of Kirkland, Locke, and Valentine. And with that, Ortega's ready to work, and up steps Jose Tartable. Tartable leading the club in hitting at .377, which would place him among the league leaders in that category. No home runs, but 12 RBIs, which also leads the ball club. So here's Tartable, who's been a force so far for this Kansas City club. And Ortega into the windup, down the pitch to Tartable, a .310 right-hander. He pops him up right side. There's Hamlin right there to grab it. And there's one away. Oh, that's okay, Franklin. We know where you live. Yeah, Michael K., that's right. You're the guy that ordered the Express edition. I'm not sure what that is. Like I say, I think, to me, I'm assuming that it's something similar to what they used to call the Selector set, where you'd get like 6 teams for a bargain price. Here's Campy now. Campy hitting .235, 1 homer, 10 RBIs. Ortega gets the sign from Orsino. And here's the pitch. That's going to be a 6-6 right-handed. Tapper down to third base. That's for McMullen. He's got it and throws him out 2 away. And the batter will be Wayne Causey. Causey just .205, no homers, 6 RBIs, left-handed hitting batter. Ortega with the windup on the pitch. That's going to be a 6-12 to the lefty. Single on a 1, on an 8. That's going to be smothered by Brinkman. To his feet, throws to Nin, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ortega. So 3 up, 3 down on both sides, and we are scoreless after 1. Washington comes in with a 9-9 record, Kansas City 9-10. So on the surface, pretty evenly matched game, both in team record and starting pitcher. Nine career shutouts for Phil Ortega here, courtesy of Kenyon. Very basic strip. That's interesting, Michael. You'll have to tell us more about it once you're more familiar with it. Top of the second we go. It's Ken McMullen to lead things off for Washington. McMullen comes into the game at .240, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in. Hitting cleanup today with Howard out of the lineup. And here's the windup. And the pitch is a 6-6 right-handed. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Ken McMullen down on strikes. And here's Willie Kirkland now. Kirkland playing left. Kirkland just 1 for 3 on the season. He's been in 7 ball games, just 3 at-bats and a walk. He has 1 home run, 1 RBI. So Kirkland, I think this is his first start of the year. Primarily, he has been a pinch hitter and a defensive replacement. As you can see, very, very solid fielder in left and right with a good arm. So Talbot into the windup. Pitch to Kirkland is a 1-11. Let's hit deep to right field. Stahl going back on the track now to make the catch. So a hard hit fly ball by Kirkland. Stayed in the park, however, and there's 2 down, and here's Don Locke, the center fielder. Locke just 163 so far, 7 for 43. He has a home run and 2 RBIs. Excuse me, and here's the pitch from Talbot. On a 4-6 to the righty, he pops him up on the left side. That's Campy. He'll take it. 3 up, 3 down. So both pitchers on their game here in the early going, and we're scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second. Kansas City will send up Bryan, Harrelson, and Stahl. Billy Bryan comes in at 219. He has 1 home run, 3 RBIs. Left-handed batter, Ortega into the windup. Here's the pitch, 5-11 left-handed, grounder down to second base. That's Hamlin. He's got it and throws to Nan, 1 down. And that'll bring up Hawk Harrelson. Harrelson batting .276, no home runs, only 1 RBI from the Hawk. So Harrelson off to a bit of a slow start. Ortega gets his sign from Orsino. Here's the windup now, and here's the pitch. It's going to be a 1-8 right-handed, and he draws the walk. First base runner of the game. A 1-out walk to Harrelson, and Harrelson can run. Star 18 Steeler, let's check the battery. Ortega's a -1, but Orsino with a +3. That's a +2 overall, be a 20, so he'd be an 18 held on. And for Harrelson, that's just too tempting to pass up. He could try for that lead. He needs a 4 or a 5 to get the 18. On a 10, he does not establish a good lead. And here's the next pitch to the left-handed Larry Stahl, who comes into the game at just 185. Ortega from the stretch. 3-5 right-handed. Struck him out. First K for Ortega. And with 2 down, Dick Green will be the hitter. Green comes in at 274, 1 home run, 11 RBIs, which would be second on the ball club to Chartable. Runner takes his lead from first. Ortega, a glance over there, and now from the stretch, delivers to Green on a 2-8 right-handed fly ball to center field. That's going to be a lock. He is right there to make the catch to retire the side. So no runs, no hits. There was a walk, 1 man left on. And we're through 2 innings scoreless. And here's Fred Talbot now, getting ready to go to work as we move along to the 3rd. Here's Orsino now to lead things off. Right-handed batter, weak. Talbot into the windup. Orsino once again represented by the 1 pitcher's hitting card, which actually is doing him a slight favor. Here's the pitch on a 1-11. Struck him out. Not all that surprising. And here's Eddie Brinkman, the shortstop. Brinkman, if I could find him here, comes in at 246, 1 homer, 7 RBIs, right-handed hitter. Talbot gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch to Brinkman. It's going to be a 5-5 right-handed. Grounder to third base. That's Kazi. He's got it to Harrelson. And there's 2 away. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Phil Ortega. Ortega, a right-handed batter, 1W. Isn't that something? So basically, if I were using Orsino's actual card, Phil Ortega is a better hitter than Orsino. Yet he's the starting catcher. I remember Orsino had some decent hitting cards, though, in his younger day. I'm guessing he was near the end of the line here. Here's the pitch now. To the right-hander on a 5-5. Grounder to third base. That's Kazi again. He will make the play. 3 up, 3 down for Talbot. So Talbot flawless through 3. Talbot, of course, came into the game with a 1.98 ERA, which would place him among the league leaders in that category. And Ortega will get ready to pitch the bottom of the inning. And greetings to Mike Terranova. Great to have you this afternoon, Mike. Hope everyone's day is going well. Much like Sunday felt like a Sunday, boy, this sure feels like a Monday, doesn't it? Here's Mike Hirschberger to lead it off for Kansas City as we move to the bottom of the third. Hirschberger hitting .254 on the season, 1 home run, 8 RBIs. Ortega gets the sign from Orsino now, and here's the windup and the pitch. 6'10", right-handed, fly to left field and playable. Kirkland's right there to make the catch. 1 away, and here's Talbot, the pitcher. Right-handed hitter, 2W. Ortega's pitch. 1-7, struck him out. Second strikeout for Ortega. And here's Tartabull again. Tartabull popped up to second his first time up today. Standing in from the left side. And here's Ortega's delivery. It's going to be a 6'10", left-handed, grounder down to first base. Nen has it. He'll take it to the bag, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Ortega. And just like that, we are through 3 in Kansas City, and we are scoreless. Both pitchers looking very sharp here in the early going. There you go. Thank you, Kenyon. Kenyon graciously has posted one of Talbot's good hitting seasons. I mean, one of Orsino's good hitting seasons. He has 1 or 2 cards in the all-time greats game on the Strat-O-Matic 365 online. One of his cards, it's a good card, which is underpriced due to the fact that he has a lot of injury chances, so he makes a great backup catcher. I've used him myself a couple of times. To the 4th we go. Top of the order for Washington. Here's Fred Valentine. Valentine 0 for 1. Talbot staring in now. Gets his sign. Here's the windup and the pitch to Valentine. That's going to be a 3-11 right-handed grounder down to first base. Harrelson will take it. It's a race to the bag, and Harrelson gets there first. And Valentine is retired. And here's Hamlin now. Ken Hamlin 0 for 1. Talbot studying the signs. Here's the pitch. It's a 5'8" right-handed grounder to second base X. That's going to be Dick Green. Green, a fine second baseman. 2E19. Behind the bag he ranges. And here's the play on an 11. That will be the E rating. So a 6 on a 19. And he boots it for an error. Oh my goodness, error Dick Green. Well, it happens to the best of them. E4, Hamlin will reach. Excuse me. Error Kansas City. Hamlin not a threat to run. Oh, so he wasn't long in the tooth. He was basically done by 27. What I usually do in those situations, Kenyon, is check his minor league numbers. I assume you're on Baseball Reference. Sometimes these guys that we can't figure out if they weren't injured, usually I look for the injury first, and if they weren't injured, it turns out that they were more or less what we call a career minor leaguer, right? So here's Nen, 1 on, 1 away. Nen flew to left his first time up. Trying to get untracked here. From the stretch, it's a 4-9 left-handed fly to center field. That's playable for Tartabull. He backs up a bit, and he'll take it for out number 2. And that'll bring up Ken McMullen. McMullen struck out his first time today. Hamlin takes a modest lead from first. Talbot will look over there, now from the stretch. Pitch to McMullen, 2-9 right-handed. Base hit up the middle. That's an open single. Hamlin can go to third. With 2 outs, 14-16. That's to center. Tartabull -1, 15. Well, that's a tough one with 2 outs. He's going to go, and they're going to throw. Here he's headed for third, and he's in there. So Hamlin stretches it. Runners at the corners. And here's Kirkland, just feeling squirrely there. I normally make sure I don't make the third out at third base. Outmanaged myself too, because I was thinking at first they'll concede it, and then I decided to not concede it. Spur of the moment decisions, right? Here's Kirkland, runners at the corners, 2 down. Kirkland flew to right his first time up. Talbot now in a little bit of a jam. Checks the runners from the stretch. The pitch to Kirkland is a 4-10 lefty. It's a fly to right and fairly deep. Stahl backing up now, just shy of the track, hauls it in. Oh my goodness. So the fans got a little excited over that one, but it was just a loud out to right. No runs, a hit, 2 left on. Talbot pitches out of trouble, and we're still scoreless, moving to the bottom of the 4th. Right around 2 o'clock, I have to check something online that will only take a minute, so my advance apologies for that. Bottom of the 4th, Campy Campaneris will start things off. He grounded to third his first time up. Ortega ready to work now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Campy. 2-6 righty. Comebacker smothered by Ortega. Picks it up and throws to Nen, 1 down. And that will bring up Wayne Causey, the left-handed hitting third baseman. Wayne grounded to short his first time up today. Ortega staring in. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch to Causey. 4-7 lefty, swung on and missed, strike 3. Down goes Causey, and for Ortega, his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. 2 down, nobody on, and Billy Bryan will be the batter. Bryan grounded to second in the 2nd. I wonder if that's the card that's used, Kenyon, in the online game, in the 1963 card. Seems like that card had a little power. Okay, here's Bryan. Ortega ready to work. The windup and the pitch. 3-3 righty. Ground ball to second base. Easy play for Hamlin. Flips to Nen, and that will do it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ortega, and look at that. Nothing but goose eggs through 4. So breezing right along today, as we do when nobody's scoring, right? And here's Talbot now. Top of the 5th, it'll be Locke, Orsino, and Brinkman. Locke 0 for 1. Talbot getting the sign from Bryan now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Locke. It's a 6-7 right-handed. It's a fly into center field, playable for Tartable. He drifts over a bit and snags it for out number 1. And that will bring up Orsino. What might be his last at bat. Right-handed hitter, weak. The pitch from Talbot. 1-6 struck him out. And that's strikeout number 3 for Talbot now. 2 down, and Eddie Brinkman will be the batter. Brinkman bounced to third in the 3rd. Talbot staring in. And here's the pitch to Brinkman. It's going to be a 5-5 righty. Grounder down to third base. Wayne Causey smothers it to his feet. Throws to Harrelson. Nice grab by Causey there to retire the side. And a 1-2-3 inning for Talbot. And man, these pitchers just keep sailing along today. And I can probably get another half inning in before I have to check how my waivers went. on my Barnstormers Event 2 team on Strat-O-Matic 365 online. If you guys aren't familiar with that, check it out. It's on the Strat-O-Matic website. It's a lot of fun. Hobbies that don't involve sports. Well, I don't play any other games. Well, that's not true. I play some online poker here and there. Mostly my other hobbies are music, collecting and listening to music, and collecting good wines. I also like road trips, although I used to like them more when I was younger. I have to admit that. I still enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but I tell you, I can't go as nearly as many miles in a day as I could, say, 20 years ago. Here's Hawk Harrelson to lead off the bottom of the fifth. He walked his first time up. Ortega gets the sign, the windup. Pitch to the Hawk is a 4-4 right-handed at the grounder to third base X. That's going to be McMullen. McMullen a 3E24. Ranging to his left. Dives, and a 5 on a 24. It is off his glove for an error. So error on McMullen. Harrelson will reach. That's one error per side now. Harrelson will have to be held. Of course, we already know 22 for the hold. He's an 18. He's going to try for that lead. Needs a 4 or a 5. A 4, he's got it. The pitch to Stahl. Here goes Harrelson, 1 to 18. Orsino's throw. He's in there on a possible overthrow number, which I will have to check that on my computer-only card. He would, of course, he's a T20. Nice. So it's automatic. He throws it into center field, and it's going to be a stolen base plus error. And Harrelson winds up on third base. And in a scoreless contest, they will pull the infield in. And here's Larry Stahl. Ortega staring in. Here's the next pitch to Stahl. 2-7 right-handed. Double to 9, and on a 1, that's down for extra bases. Harrelson can basically walk home. Stahl will round and cruise into second with a stand-up double, and it is 1-0, Kansas City. And before Dick Green comes to the plate, excuse me just a second, I want to check this. Okay. Oh, wow. My first waiver pick was Ralph Kiner. I had the 4th pick in waivers, and I actually got him. I did not expect to get him. So a very successful waivers there. Yeah, that's all I needed to see. I can fine-tune that later. That league doesn't begin play until a week from today, so there's plenty of time to play around with it before the rosters are set. Yeah, he not only can't he hit, Kenyon, he's got a +3 arm and a frickin' T20 overthrow. What was this guy doing in the lineup? Here's Dick Green now, 0 for 1. Ortega does not look very happy either. In fact, Orsino starts to go out to the mound, and Ortega waves at him like, you just get back behind the plate and concentrate on your part of the game. Okay, we're ready to roll. Here's the windup. The pitch to Green, 3-5 righty, grounder to shortstop. That's going to be Brinkman. Runner will hold as Brinkman fires it over to Nen for the first out of the inning. And here's Mike Hirschberger now. Hirschberger flew to left his first time up. Ortega gets the sign from Orsino, and here's the pitch. 6-7 righty. Grounder to second base X. That's going to be Ken Hamlin, a 3E34. Hamlin ranging behind the bag. And here's the play. Error range, it's a 10 on a 34, and he boots it for an error. Runner will hold at third. So E4, and the wheels are coming off of the Washington defense here. Their third error of the contest. That isn't right. Yes, it is, actually. The throwing error. Error, two errors. Two errors in that box. That threw me for a minute. Holy cow. Hirschberger, a star 16, and of course Orsino with that lovely +3 arm. Helped a little bit by Ortega's -1 hold. That's still going to make Hirschberger an 18 not held. So they need to hold him. And they can't hold him and pull the infield in. So they'll hold him, making him a 16. Here's Talbot now. Talbot an A butter to top it off. And he's going to lay one down. Runner held, so he'll remain an A. On an 11, look at that. They got the lead man off the third. Oh my God, what a break for Washington there. Sacrifice 11A. Batter is safe. Leading. No, that's not the leading runner because they're not trying to move the runner on third. I beg your pardon. Let's think that out for a second. In this case, the lead runner is the runner on first. So that's going to go as a force. We're going to call that 1-6. Hirschberger forced. Stahl stays at third. So Talbot unable to get down a good bunt. Now there's 2 away, and here's Tardible. Ortega staring in. Pitch to Tardible, 1-7 right-handed. Fly ball to right and playable for Valentine. This is going to do it. He drifts over a bit and makes the catch to retire the side. So that could have been a lot worse. The Athletics push across a run on a hit. They leave 2. There were 3 errors in the inning. Yeah, Ortega feeling lucky to get out of that with only 1 run allowed. And I don't blame him. So Ortega's going to sit down and cool off for a minute. And Fred Talbot will take the mound and get ready to roll here in the 6th. Oh my goodness, what a wild inning. Ortega won't be able to sit down for long as he's due to lead off the inning. So here he comes. Right-handed batter, 1W. The pitch from Talbot. 5-6 right-handed. Grounder down to first base. That's going to be Harrelson to his right. Shovels to Talbot covering. 1 away. Excuse me. God, it really feels like hay fever. Seems like the weather would be too crappy for that, quite frankly. Anyway, here's Valentine with 1 away. Valentine grounded to first in both of his appearances so far today. Batting left-handed, Talbot gets the sign from Brian now. Here's the windup. The pitch to Valentine, a 1-6 right-handed. That's a base hit up the middle, and Valentine's aboard with a 1-out single. Second hit of the day for Washington. Valentine's got some wheels, a star 17. Talbot a -2. Brian with a +3 arm. My God, both of these catchers are terrible. So that's +1. That makes him an 18. He'll be held on, making him a 16, and he's going to try for the lead. Of course, he leads the club in steals with 4. 3 through 6 to get that 18. 6, he's got it. The pitch to Hamlin, there goes Valentine. The throw from Brian, he's stolen it. Hang on here, I forgot to write in Harrelson steal. So we'll get him and Valentine in one shot. At second base now is Valentine on the next pitch to Hamlin. 5-4 righty. Fly to center field X. That's Tardible. Tardible very sure-handed out there. A 2-E-2 in center. Tardible on his horse now. Here's the play. It's the E rating. The roll is an 8 on an E2. I'm pretty comfortable with that one. And he makes the catch for the out. Valentine can tag on that. He's a 16 to third, 18 plus 1, 19. He's going to tag. Can only be thrown out on a 20 anyway. And he tags and moves to third. So Valentine takes third on the fly ball with 2 down. It's going to be up to Dick Nan. Nan 0 for 2 so far. Talbot checks the runner at third. Now full windup. The pitch to Nan. 2-9 right-handed. That's a high fly ball to right field. Stahl racing back. That's past him. That's going to roll to the wall. Valentine can walk home. Nen rounding. The throw in, and Nen's in with an RBI double, and we got a tie ball game. Let's take another look at that one. 2-9 home run to 8. The roll is a 14, and Nen in with a double. So tie game here in the 6th. Runner in scoring position, and Ken McMullen will step to the plate. McMullen's 1 for 2 today. Talbot staring in now. Here's the windup and the pitch to McMullen. It's a 1-8 right-handed. Tapper to shortstop. Campy's got it. Throws to Harrelson, and that's going to do it. But however, 1 run to tie the game on 2 hits. They leave a man at second base. 1-1 headed to the bottom of the 6th. By the way, Talbot an S6 for endurance. He came within 1 of tiring there. Ortega rated 7 for endurance. And he's taking his warm-ups, getting ready to go in the bottom of the 6th. It's going to be Campaneris, Causey, and Bryan for Kansas City. Set to go now. Campaneris standing in 0 for 2 today. Ortega gets the sign. Here's the windup. The pitch is a 1-6 right-handed. That's a grounder to shortstop. Eddie Brinkman, steady Eddie, throws him out. 1 away as Campy grounds out to his opposite number, and here comes Wayne Causey. Causey's 0 for 2. Grounder to short in the 1st, struck out in the 4th. Ortega stares in, and now his pitch to the lefty. A 1-11 right-handed. Causey takes it the other way and rips a solid line drive single into left field. And that's just the 2nd hit of the day off of Ortega. So Causey aboard with 1 down. And here comes the catcher, Billy Bryan. Bryan bounced to second both times up today. Causey takes his lead now. Ortega working out of the stretch. The pitch to Billy Bryan. 2-11 right-handed. It's a grounder back to the pitcher. Ortega turns and fires down to Brinkman. To Nen, not in time. So that's going to be a force. Causey erased. And Billy Bryan will be on first base with 2 down. And here's Hawk Harrelson. Harrelson 0 for 1, but he's been on base both times. He walked in the 2nd, reached on an error in the 5th, where he stole 2nd, and took 3rd on the throwing error by Orsino. Ortega staring in now from the stretch. The pitch to the Hawk, a 3-9. That's ripped into the gap for extra bases. 2 stars, so Brian's going to have to hold up at third on a 2-out double by Harrelson. So second and third, 2 down. Larry Stahl will get a shot. No danger of fatiguing in this inning for Ortega, being an S7. Ortega still looks a little miffed after that 3-error fifth. Deep breath from Ortega now, and here's the pitch to Stahl. 5-10 left-handed. It's catcher card X. Oh boy, that's Orsino again. Orsino of 4E16. Well, you got to think this is going to score a run. Here's the roll. On a 9, that's the E rating. A 7 on a 16. How about that? He boots it. It's an E1 on Orsino. Oh my goodness, this Orsino is just killing his team. So E2. Harrelson to third. Brian will score the unearned run. And the Athletics take the lead 2-1. Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare for Orsino. He can't do anything right today. And here's Green. Runners at the corners, 2 down. Green's 0 for 2 today. Ortega gets the sign now. Here's the pitch to Green. 1-4 righty, tapper to second. Hamlin will take it and throw to Nen to retire the side. However, a run for Kansas City on 2 hits and they leave a pair. That run will be unearned, charged to Ortega. We've completed 6 here in Kansas City, and the Athletics hold a 2-1 advantage. Kenyon, my friend, you read my mind. Yes, we have gone the obligatory 7 here, or close enough, with this Orsino. Talbot ready to work the 7th. Willie Kirkland will lead it off. Locke and Orsino's spot to follow. Say Orsino's spot. I'm just trying to be diplomatic, you know what I mean? So here's Kirkland, flew to right twice. Talbot staring in now. Here's the windup and the pitch. That's a 2-8 right-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Kirkland down on strikes, 1 down. And here's Don Locke, the center fielder. Oh, hell yes, Franklin, anybody's game here. Locke 0 for 2 so far. Talbot staring in. Here's the windup, the pitch to Locke. 3-11 right-handed, base hit up the middle, and Locke's aboard with 1 down. Locke not a threat to steal. And that's going to do it for the hitless wonder Orsino. Not only can he hit, he's been directly responsible defensively for both of Kansas City's runs. So they're going to look for another catcher. And they have 2. They have Casanova and Camille. Casanova's the better catcher. And they're fairly close offensively, so we're going to make it Casanova. Orsino's done, much to the relief of Phil Ortega. A 2E8 -1. Boy, won't Ortega be happy to see that. So here's Casanova now. Runner on first, 1 away. Casanova hasn't played much this year either. He's only been in 7 games. He's just 3 for 9. All 3 of those hits are doubles, by the way. And he does have 1 run batted in. Talbot from the stretch. The pitch to Casanova. It's a 4-4 right-handed. Catcher's card X. Now it's going to be the other defensive stalwart behind the plate, Billy Bryan, with a 4E12. And here's the roll on the play. On a 16, it's a pass ball and a pop out. So pass ball will be charged to Brian. That allows Locke to take second, and then Casanova pops one up, fielded by Brian for the second out. So runner in scoring position and 2 down, and it will be up to Eddie Brinkman. Pitcher to follow. They're going to pitch to Brinkman. Exactly. He's the zero tool player. Orsino, a zero tool player, will be behind the plate today. Oh my goodness, too funny. Here's Talbot's pitch to Brinkman now. 6'10", right-handed, fly to left and shallow. Here comes Hirschberger, still coming, just does catch up with it and makes the catch to retire the side. So no harm done there on the pass ball. No runs to hit, a man stranded. And it is 2-1 Athletics as we stretch here in the 7th. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me on a Monday that feels like a Monday. Ortega will enter his first inning of potential fatigue as we move to the bottom of the inning. Hirschberger, Talbot, and Tardible do. Talbot was able to reset his fatigue by only allowing 1 base runner in the 7th. So you guys know me, I'm going to go with these starters as long as I can. Although, in fairness, this will be the last inning for Ortega since his team is trailing and he's due to lead off in the 8th. Talbot might bat. Here's Hirschberger, 0 for 2. Ortega into the windup. Pitch to Hirschberger, 3-5 righty, a grounder down to third base. That's Ken McMullen. Fields it cleanly, long throw to Nan, and there's 1 out. So they could go for a pinch hitter. This is a tough decision, to be honest with you. Talbot's pitched marvelously on the season so far and in this ball game. He has the lead. And normally in these situations, I let them stay. So I'm going to let Talbot stay. I may regret this, but he's going to bat. And here's the pitch to Ortega on a 2-12. Fly ball into right field. Can of corn for Valentine. 2 away. And Tardible will be the hitter. Tardible 0 for 3 today. Came into the game at 377. Ortega staring in now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Tardible. 5'11" left-handed. 2-hopper to second. Backhanded by Hamlin. 2 Nan. And it's a perfect 1-2-3 inning for Ortega. So we've played 7 complete. It's Athletics 2, Senators 1. And that's going to do it for Ortega. They will send up a pinch hitter to lead off the 8th, trailing by a run. Ortega pitched 7 innings. A fine effort by Ortega. He only allowed 3 hits. I gave him credit for 1 earned run. I'm thinking they both might be. Double. That should have been an out. Double, out, out. So that one's unearned. Out, single, out, double. Force. Yeah, they're both unearned. So 2 runs, both unearned for Ortega. No earned runs. He walked only 1. Struck out 3. Casey Cox throwing in the Washington pen, and now we'll have a batter for Ortega. Against the righty Talbot, that's going to be the switch hitter, Bob Savarin. Bob Savarin pinch hit in this game in real life. He is 3 for 12 on the season. He's been in 10 games. No RBIs. So 10 games, 12 at bats. Pretty much a pinch hitter mostly, I would imagine. Especially considering that he's not good defensively at any position. He played 6 positions, all of them rather poorly. And he'll be batting left-handed here against Talbot. Talbot ready to work now. The pitch to the left-handed Savarin. 6'6" lefty, and he walks him. Ball 4. Lead-off walk. That's not what you want to do when you're leading by a run. Savarin, an excellent base runner. Not much for stealing. And here's Valentine. Action now in the Kansas pen as John Wyatt begins throwing. So here's Valentine, runner on first, nobody out. Talbot out of the stretch. Pitch to Valentine, 2-7 right-handed, and he walks him, ball 4. So 2 walks to start off the inning here. Right, left, right. And Billy Bryant's going out to the mound. Ken Hamlin due up. Dick Nen to follow. Talbot nodding his head. One more hitter walk will fatigue Talbot. Paul Lindblad joins Wyatt in the pen. They're going to give him one more batter. Ken Hamlin is 0 for 3 on the day. Talbot walked the first 2 this inning. He certainly appears to be losing it. From the stretch now, the pitch to Hamlin. 4-7 right-handed. That's a grounder to short. That's going to be 2. Campaneris to Green to Harrelson. Double play. Boy, that's exactly what he needed. Savarin will take third. So the 6-4-3 double play. And here comes Alvin Dark, and he is going to make the move with a left-hander coming up. He's going to go to Lindblad. Lefty, righty, lefty do. Talbot 7 2/3, also a fine performance. only 4 hits allowed by Talbot. Only 1 run so far. The runner on third base is his responsibility. Did he walk anybody? Yes, he walked 2, and they were both in this inning. He also fanned 2, 3, 4. So that's it for Talbot. Nice game for Talbot. He gets a big hand as he walks off the mound. And in comes Lindblad. Wyatt is also ready down there. Lindblad, the lefty. Pretty good card as far as on base, but as you can see, he's got a home run problem. He's been in 8 ball games, no record with an ERA of 2.0 in 9 innings of work. So Lindblad has been very effective as the lefty out of the pen for Kansas City so far. And his job here is to get out Dick Nen. That's the tying run at third base. So we got to check now the Washington bench and see what they have at first base. Problem is they don't have another first baseman other than Bob Chance, who has absolutely nothing on his card versus lefties. So that makes it tough. Let's see if they could do a double switch. Can anybody else in the lineup move to first? McMullen can play first. Valentine technically can, but you don't want him there. So do they have another third baseman? And they do not. Unless you leave Saverin in the lineup. You could do worse. Could do worse. We're going to pull out all the stops for Washington here. There's only one thing to do. And look who's coming up. Saverin would then stay in the game in the pitcher's spot with the pitcher coming into this spot. So here's Frank Howard. Big Frank's batting .328 on the season. Surprisingly, only one home run. Now what to do? It's a game of cat and mouse here. And they're going to put Howard on and take their chances with McMullen. So 4 wide ones to Howard. And here's Ken McMullen. Runners at the corners, 2 down. There have been 3 walks in this inning, one of them intentional. Ken McMullen's 1 for 3 on the ball game. Lindblad staring in to get the sign now from the stretch. The pitch to McMullen. 4-4 right-handed, catcher's card X. That's Brian, a 4E12. This could tie the ball game. Here's the roll on the play on a 20. Pass ball will tie the game, and then a foul out to the catcher to end the inning. So the second pass ball for Brian allows a run to score. Saverin will cross the plate. And then McMullen pops out to the catcher. So McMullen will move to first base. The pitcher will go in Nen's spot. Saverin will stay in the game in the 9 spot and play third base, where he's a 4E18. And they tie it without the aid of the hit. 3 walks and a pass ball. How about that for creative scoring? Hell of a ball game. I don't know. What did you think about those moves? I'm pretty happy with it. I was trying to manage as each team would have managed. Sometimes it gets tricky managing against yourself. I thought it was pretty realistic. Washington's not going to let Nen bat against the lefty because he's terrible that way. Your biggest threat is Howard, and there's no way they're going to let Lindblad pitch to him, so he gets the free pass. Yeah, I think that worked out pretty well. Here comes Casey Cox. Cox coming on now for Washington. Cox has been their best reliever, at least card-wise. In the replay, he's been in 4 games, a 1-1 record, a fine 2.57 ERA, and 7 innings of work. And he's going to be looking at Campy, Causey, and Brian as we go to the bottom of the 8th in a tie ball game. What a freaking game. Thank you, guys. Kenyon, Mike. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. I do it for you guys. I mean, I really do. Well, I do it partly for myself, but you know what I mean. I'll tell you what, and having not slept at all Saturday night, I pretty much went to the post yesterday out of sense of duty. And after the game was over, I took a nap. And I'm not a nap guy. I normally don't take naps. But yeah, I was wiped out yesterday. Here's Campy to lead things off. Campy's 0 for 3 today. Cox ready to work now. Casanova now doing the catching. Here's Campy. Cox the windup. Pitch to Campy. 2-9 right-handed. Grounder to second base. That's going to be Hamlin. Throws him out. And there's one down. Here comes Wayne Causey now. Billy Bryan on deck. He's another one that he may not be long for this game. These +3 catchers are driving me crazy, quite frankly. I'm surprised we've only had 2 stolen bases in this one. Here's Causey 1 for 3. Cox gets the side. Now the windup. The pitch to Causey. 3-6 right-handed. Fly ball into center field. That's playable for Locke. And he's there to make the catch. And I think what we'll do is we'll let Brian bat and then remove him for defense because he does have some power against righties. So he's going to hit here. This will be his last at bat. Cox into the windup. Here's the pitch to Billy Bryan. 2-11. Comebacker. Cox snares it. Throws it to McMullen, who's now at first. And that will do it. 1, 2, 3 go the Athletics. And Brian's going to be replaced behind the plate by Phil Roof. With a tie game this tight, I don't want either one of these teams to lose this game on a lousy catcher. 2E6 with a 0 is Roof. And he'll take over the catching duties as we go to the 9th inning in a 2-2 ball game. Kirkland, Locke, and Casanova due for Washington. Lindblad will come back out there. And now we have another dilemma for Washington. Kirkland, pretty good against right-handers, absolutely horrid against lefties. And their bench is really thin, too. But they do have Jim King on the bench. King a right fielder only, but we could use the right. Actually, we could move Stahl to left. So Jim King is going to hit for Kirkland. He's also a left-handed hitter. He would stay in the game in right field. Valentine can move to left. So here's King to lead it off, left on left. True, Franklin, but he was the man for the spot. I mean, you have to assume that I didn't know that I was going to walk him intentionally. And in truth, I didn't. I didn't even make that decision until after the move was made. That's one good thing about senior appropriate short-term memory, right? It does come in handy when you're managing it yourself, against yourself sometimes. So here's King to lead it off. Lindblad left on left. The pitch to Jim King. It's a 3-7 lefty. Tapper to first. Harrelson will take it himself. And there's one down. And here's Don Locke now, the center fielder. 1 for 3 on the day. Lindblad staring in. The pitch to Locke, 6-7 right-handed. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Boy, a nasty breaking ball by Lindblad. Locke swings right over the top of it. And that will bring up Casanova. His second at bat of the day. He's 0 for 1. Lindblad, the windup. The pitch to Paul, 6-8 righty. That's ripped into the left center gap. 999 on a 10. He's going to be in with a stand-up double. So Casanova with the 2-out double. Definitely wouldn't have got that out of Orsino. I suppose he could have rolled a double on Lindblad's card, right? And it's going to be up to Brinkman. If you're thinking pinch runner for Casanova, forget about that. They're just about out of catchers. So it's going to have to be Casanova. I love it, Kenyon. Howard's one of those guys, when he gets on base, he really upsets the pitcher. And in this case, the catcher too. Here's Brinkman 0 for 3, trying to pick up that runner from second. Lindblad staring in. Here's the pitch on a 4-6 righty. Fly ball to right field, playable for Stahl, who makes the catch to retire the side. So no runs to hit, 1 left. And we're going to the bottom of the 9th in a 2-2 ball game. Cox coming out for his second inning of work. It will be Hawk Harrelson with Stahl and Green to follow. Oh my goodness, what a ball game. Hawk 1 for 2 of the walk. Cox staring in to get the sign. Here's the pitch to Harrelson. It's a 3-9 right-handed. That's down for extra bases. There goes Harrelson running like a rabbit. Locke picks it up, throws it in, and Harrelson's in with a stand-up double, and the winning run is out there in scoring position with nobody out. And Larry Stahl will come to the plate. Stahl's 1 for 3 today. Stahl, a D bunter, thinking about moving him over to third. Boy, no kidding, Franklin. It's a good thing I don't have to worry about being second guessed in the press, huh? Maybe just in the comment section. 1 for 3, here's Larry. Cox checks the runner. Full windup now. And the pitch to Stahl is a 2-8. Right in his good column. He pops him up. McMullen is right there. And he'll take it for the out. Let me update my card here. One down, and the batter will be Dick Green. Here's Green now. You can feel the tension in the stands. Pretty much all of the 7,305 in the park still remaining for this one. And here's Green, 0 for 3. Runner takes his lead from second. Here's the pitch to Green. 6-11 righty. Gets a base hit into right field. That's an open single. This might do it. Harrelson with some speed, 1 through 13. Right field is now King, a 0, 13 with 1 out. Oh my God, that's tough. He's going to hold. He's going to hold up. So a base hit Green. Harrelson holds at third. The winning run is at third base with 1 out. And Mike Hirschberger will be the batter. Lindblad on deck, and Ossie Chavaria has grabbed a bat and moved into the on-deck circle. Mike Hirschberger, 0 for 3 on the day. Runners at the corners and 1 out. The winning run at third. And yes, Steve, this is a walk-off situation. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Cox staring in now. Let's check Green for running. He's not a base stealer. Cox, though, does have a +3 hold. He would need to roll a 4 to get it. +3, and the catcher Casanova a -1, so 2, 19. His run doesn't mean anything. They're not even going to hold him on. So it's all at the plate now. It's Cox and Hirschberger. And the first pitch is outside for a ball. Cox staring in now from the stretch. The pitch to Hirschberger. 5-10, right-handed. Fly ball to left, and it's a C. It's shallow. Valentine charging in. And he makes the catch, and the runners must hold. Valentine with a -1 arm. Fly ball C. And now they're going to spring up Chavaria to bat for the pitcher. So here's Ossie Chavaria now. So far in the season, 237, no homers, 3 RBIs. Cox trying to get out of the jam, Chavaria trying to walk it off. And here's the pitch. It's a 5-7 right-handed. That is ripped, and that's the ball game. That's down for a base hit, and the Kansas City Athletics win the game. Oh, my goodness. Listen to the crowd. Ossie Chavaria walks it off with a base hit in the bottom of the 9th. Three to 2 is the final. Paul Lindblad picks up the win. Casey Cox takes the loss. 1 2/3 for Cox, 3 hits and a run. No walks, no Ks. Lindblad, 1 1/3, 1 hit. No runs, a walk and a K. And there's your line. Your total's on the ball game. Yeah, they do go to 500. Kansas City 10-10 now. Washington drops to 9-10. Thank you, Kenyon, Mike, Franklin, everyone. The Athletics end up with 3 runs on just 6 hits, 1 error. Washington, 2 runs, 5 hits. They made 3 errors in the ball game, and the errors cost them the game, as 2 of the 3 runs for the Athletics were unearned. Chief Spokane Gary player of the game, I'm inclined to go with Hawk Harrelson. 2 doubles and a walk, reached on an error. His stolen base forced another error, which led to a run, and he scored the game-winning run. So Ken Harrelson is your Chief Spokane Gary player of the game. Checking the pitching records here now. Cox with the loss drops to 1-2. Lindblad picks up the win. That's his first decision on the year. He's 1-0. And that'll do it for me. Oh, that was a good one. So walk-offs the last 2 days. How about that? Tomorrow we've got a doubleheader. And I may try to play it as a doubleheader. I'll have to see how I feel, of course. Guaranteed we're going to play one. You can count on that. Boston Red Sox at Minnesota Twins. And the opener will be Earl Wilson on the mound for the Red Sox. And the Hall of Famer Jim Cott will toe the rubber for the Twins. 1:30 Pacific. Please join me for that one. Thanks once again, everybody, for hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. A lot of maneuvering in that game, a lot of subs. This will be another fun one to enter. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to throw together a late lunch. Thanks once again for hanging out with me. Have a great evening, guys, and hopefully see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.